All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. Prydwen went ahead and officially created a tier list for CZN, so we're going to go ahead and review that together. I'm going to give you my opinions on it. I'm going to get yours down in the comments below. Now, really quickly, before we do get started, a few disclaimers. First and foremost, making a tier list for Chaos Zero Nightmare has to be incredibly difficult. The reason being is because I feel as if you can make every character in this game viable, just depending on how much you want to grind for their deck, get the right synergy together, things of that nature. You can make any character feel T0. So I personally won't be making a tier list, but I will be reviewing Prydwens every time they update it. Massive shout out to Prydwen, by the way. I'll have this linked in the description down below for you to go ahead and check out. And I think that's what makes CZN so special and why people love this game so much, because you're able to do such that and make your favorite character incredibly strong. And I think that's what separates it from any other gacha game on the market right now, and why people are really praising this game so much, and rightfully so, right, on top of many other things. But with that being said, also another disclaimer, this is just for fun, right? We're getting their perspective, we're giving our own, we're getting a conversation going. It's just a good time, right? It's always fun to go ahead and see what other people think about characters and then give our opinions on it. So it's just for a good time, just to see what they say and to go ahead and kind of bounce ideas off of each other. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and drop a like. Sub if you're new, join the FBG fam. I would love to have you stick around. Obviously, we're covering CZN extensively here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to take a look at the tier list first, and then we'll go over some of the ratings, some of the criteria, changelogs, things of that nature. But let's take a look at the tier list first and foremost. It's going to be off of the Dimensional Twilight. Keep that in mind. And we're going to take a look at the DPS first. They have the boy Hugo in T0. Now, we have to take a look at the ratings, right, to see what they say. So based on the fact that so many characters are viable and all can be strong, correct, there's far less separation in Chaos Zero Nightmare tier list than in other games we support. Correct. Because of this, there are only 3 tiers at release: T0, T1, T2, but the differences between them also smaller than those in other titles. Once again, I think that's what makes this game so incredibly good and so incredibly fun, and why people love it, because of that reason alone, right? Now, T0 characters in this tier either have irreplaceable effects that are difficult to match, even with divine epiphanies and top tier equipment, and are notably more powerful at both average and high levels of deck building, allowing them to be more effective for more players in general across the board. I could see that being the case, right? So not necessarily that they're head and shoulders and leagues above other characters in terms of strength, but more so their mechanics, right? What they're able to do, no other character can do. And then if you pick them up, you're able to use them more effectively generally across the board, right? That's what I'm getting from T0. T1 character is competent and has one or many outstanding deck building options that make them viable in endgame and capable of completing content without trouble. This is typically what you would see in S tier for most, if not all, other gacha games tier lists. This would be like the S tier. So if your character or combatants in T1, they're incredibly strong, incredibly good, incredibly viable, right? And then moving over to T2, characters in this tier, while absolutely playable, are outclassed in one or multiple areas, even after considering high-end deck building options for their role. Either others perform the role they're doing better, or their kit isn't currently a strong fit for Basin of Hyperspace. So T2 is, they need some work, right? They are strong, but there are other characters that can do what they can do just better. So keep all of that in mind. So going back to my boy Hugo here, I can definitely see that being the case. Once again, I always thought Hugo was a sleeper pick. He is AP friendly. He does have really strong attacks. He has additional follow-up attacks. It synergizes well with a lot of other combatants. So I think Hugo being in T0 is deserving. Moving on to T1, Haru in T1, AP hungry. I mean, for me, Haru's just a nuker. She does a lot of damage. You put the right deck together, put the right team together, she carries hard. So T1's fine. I'm okay with that. Kayron being in T1, I could see a lot of people arguing this, but I understand why they put him here. Definitely AP hungry, but he has insane AoE, insane damage capabilities. He can absolutely nuke fields. So if you want to put him in T0, I personally wouldn't argue with you on that one, but I can see why T1. Now, Mei Lin being in T1, I would probably argue to be in T0 with Hugo there, just because nobody can break like Mei Lin can. So for that reason alone, I would put her there. I think she is the best breaker in the game. She is AP friendly. She can buff herself, provide passion weakness. Like, Mei Lin does too much. And I think she's arguably the best single target damage dealer in the game. She's insane. So I would put her in T0 personally, but that's just me. Renoa T1, Rin T1. I'm fine with that. That's okay. I like DPSs so far. I would just move Maylin up to T0 personally. And then T2, no, they got my boy Luke at T2. They're doing him dirty. It's okay. I understand why. But they do have the eyeball on him, meaning that they're going to keep an eye on him. I personally think that Luke could be T1. I think he has the potential. I think he's underrated. I think he can be very strong with the correct deck. So I would personally put him in T1, but that's just me. They have to put somebody in T2. And unfortunately, it's my boy Luke. Moving over to support DPS, I agree with this wholeheartedly. Tressa, insane. I can't believe they made a free-to-play character you get just from playing the story this strong, including Mika. We'll get to her in just a second. But they did. Insane DOT, insane damage capabilities, AP friendly. A lot of her cards are 0 cost. She's just insane. Absolutely insane character. And then we have Veronica. I agree with this once again wholeheartedly. She's just insane. Fits on any team. The ballista mechanic is busted. That is why she is in T0. Nobody can do what Veronica can do with that ballista mechanic. And you could choose what kind of ballista you want. You can have multiple ballistas. She just does insane damage, burst damage. Such a great character. Such a great character, Veronica. Moving over to T1, Beryl. I could see this being the case. Right, Beryl's a nuker. She retains cards. She nukes the field. She's really good in that aspect. Can draw as well. And then Selena, great damage dealer, has AoE weakness. Really good character as a support DPS. I agree with those two as well. And then T2, once again I have to disagree with this one. Just personally is Lucas. I use Lucas a lot, just like his brother Luke. I think he should be in T1. He has AoE on all of his cards, essentially, pretty much. Is able to do a lot of debuffing with his cards, can pump out damage. He has a great ultimate, which is AoE as well, and is able to draw more cards. I think Lucas is highly underrated, in my opinion. I put him on so many teams. He's very, very good. I think he has tons of potential, and I think can be in T1. That's the only one I would argue being in T1. And then Owen T2. Somebody's got to be there, and it's unfortunately going to be Owen. Moving over to support, Mika, arguably the best character in the game. There's no questions on why she's in T0. Generates AP, healing. Only Mika could do what Mika is able to do, right? And that's why she's in T0 and arguably the best character in the game. T1, Cassius, Nia, Ray. I agree with all these. They put the eye on Nia. Nia could probably, maybe, possibly move up to T0. She's insane. Cassius with drawing cards, insane, really. You know, he's the only one that can really look in your deck, look in your graveyard, pull a card out, any card that you want. Has a cool questing mechanic. Yeah, I think he's really good. And then Ray, her buffing capabilities, she's really good as well and able to provide cards. I think she can also provide AP in certain aspects as well. And then Nia, we all know what Nia can do, right? Additional attacks, buffing, can draw. She's really good also. So in the support aspect, I can see this all being the case. And then we have Orlea. Now, for me personally, my only thing is, like, it's fine. You want to put her in T2. Once I think Orlea's stonks are going to go up as the game progresses and people start to figure her out more. I think she is a bit underrated as well. But not only that, I don't know if I would just put her in this pure support category. For me personally, I would probably move her over to support DPS and put her T1. Just because her creations do more than just supporting. She can do damage as well. I would put her in the support DPS. Because she does a little bit of everything, in my opinion. I don't think she's a pure support. At least not the way they're defining it. So I would put her more in the support DPS. But that's just me personally. But she's in T2 for support. That's the only one I would argue there. And then moving over to Shielder. No surprise here. Khalid, best Shielder. But not only does she shield, she DPSs. She has AoE. She can break. She can search for cards. She can do your taxes. You can write your checks. You can pay your mortgage. She takes care of your kids. Yeah, she does it all. She does it all. Insane character. Still very, very strong. And then in T1, Magna, Maribel. No arguments. And then my girl, Amir, T2. This hurts. I understand why, but at the same time, I think she might just be a bit underrated as well. I've been using Amir a lot. I see her potential, and I think she's potentially T1. I think she's really good. Personally, I think she's really good. I think she can do insane amount of damage with the right epiphanies, with the right deck. I think she can do a lot of damage. I think her metallization mechanic is not only unique, but actually pretty cool. She can provide a lot of shields with her low cost ego skill. I think it's only a 4 cost. And depending on your metallization, you can get a bunch of shields. And then do a lot of damage as well. I think Amir is just not explored enough. I might do a video on Amir, personally. I think she's good. I like her. I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased. You let me know down in the comments below. I might be biased. I will put it in T1 personally, but I guess somebody's got to be in T2, right? Anyways, this tier list is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good. Generally speaking, this is pretty good. Just, you know, just some differences and some changes I would make. Once again, TLDR, Meilin and T0. I would move Luke up to T1, Lucas up to T1. Orlais, I would probably put in support DPS, and then Amir personally I'd probably put in T1, but that might be biased. So that is the tier list right there. We could take a quick look at the changelog. Hugo, yeah, pretty much what we were saying, right? Extra attacks, best single target damage in the game when set up correctly. I could see why they say that, but at the same time I would probably give that title to Meilin personally, in my opinion. But yeah, he's really good. Absurd synergy with Tressa is 100% correct. Such a good synergy, good duo right there. Tressa, like Hugo, consistent. Outbreak of War, yeah, Tressa's insane. Veronica, you can see what they say about Veronica there. Mika, we already know she's best character in the game. Khalid, pretty much what we talked about there. Luke and Nia, I guess it's because of the dimensional cube why they got the eyes, the eyeballs on those two characters in particular. But you can see what they say there about it. And once again, I'll have this linked in the description down below for you. We already looked at the rating criteria. You can read all that as well. I don't want this video to be too terribly long because it certainly can be if you go over all of this, but you could definitely take a look at it for yourself. But that is a tier list from Prydwen. Once again, generally speaking, I agree with it. I'm going to probably call this like season 1. And then as Prydwen updates, probably when we get new characters, I will revisit this and see what may have changed, if anything at all, and see where they put new characters, right? I'm interested to keep up to date with this, but also let me know in the comments down below, once again, if you do enjoy videos like this where we take a look at tier lists and things of that nature. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. But anyways, I'm gonna get on out of here. Once again, this is just for fun. Thank you all for the support, and I'll see you all next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.